Brandon, are there a lot of no sales at the auction right now?
Yeah, I went to an auction yesterday. They only ran 110 cars. Was I think I was trying to get a video done there, and there just were almost no cars. But even with them having such small inventory at the auction, because a lot of these new franchise dealers are not selling a lot of cars, so they're not bringing a lot of trade-ins. Auctions are going to start suffering as it gets weaker and weaker towards the end of the year. There's still a ton of no sales, ton of if bids, and I don't know really what was, because usually what happens is if you have a smaller pool of cars for these dealers to bid on, still the same amount of bidders that show up every single week, the prices go up a little bit. And from what I was looking at, I only bought 2 cars, and I had like 6 on my list. All the ones that I didn't buy, I thought they went for outrageous prices, and still a lot of them got no sold. So it's a weird dynamic that's happening right now where you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place on the wholesale level, because you have sellers that are still wanting the moon for these cars. Because 6 months ago, they got way more money. We're in a downtrending market. They're still thinking they can get prices up here. Buyers want to pay down here. So what you have is you have this spread of what prices need to come together to actually get transactions to happen. You need either buyers to step up, or you have to have sellers that come down. Usually what happens, go through a few weeks of a bunch of no sales, then the sellers come down, because buyers, when I say buyers, it's not retail buyers like me. So small used car, independent dealers, the franchise dealers are the sellers. They're the sellers of these trade-ins. I'm a small used independent car dealer. I'm a buyer at these wholesale auctions. So when you get the buyers to step up, it means the market is usually getting a little bit better, because that means I can pay a lot more for cars because I'm selling a lot of cars. But what's happening right now is that sellers are staying up here. The market's trending down because buyers at these wholesale dealer auctions like myself, we're slower. So we're not going to be paying more for cars. It doesn't make any sense. We're not going to be paying more for cars right now than when we're seasonally slower. So you have this few week period where you have tons and tons and tons of no sales, and then sellers finally will catch up with the market, but it just takes time. And I've been putting out a lot of videos showing what I'm getting, and it is working out. So my types of vehicles are going to be the ones that take a nosedive first, because they're usually the ones that these dealerships trade in for, and they have no money in them. So usually they don't have any reserve on them, and they just sell them for whatever they bring. So my end of the market is going to show a lot of weakness first. So I get a lot of comments saying, okay, well, I'm not seeing, even other dealers, I'm not seeing prices come down at all. And they're probably experiencing a lot of no sales. But the lower end of the market, which is what I'm buying, they're just cutting loose of that stuff. So there's none of this no sell, if bid, reserve type of junk that's going on, because they're cutting loose of the car, whether it brings $2,000, whether it brings $800, whatever. They're not in this car for anything. They traded in it for nothing, and they're just going to cut loose of that car. So I can see my market drop. I can see the prices plummet, nosedive. You know all the words. We make YouTube videos, right? They come down in a big way first before the mid-tier car, and especially before the upper end car comes down. But I know that the market is trending down because of the amount of no sales, because of the amount of if bids are coming up. And it's just going to be a couple weeks from now for those sellers to be like, you know what, we're just not going to be able to sell it for that amount that we thought we were going to be able to. And then they start cutting loose. And that's what you see. It's kind of like a stair step down, because back at the end of the summer, we saw a lot of this too. And then the prices went down because the sellers finally said, okay, you know what, we're not going to be able to get this for these cars. So they started cutting loose. And then we had another flat line a little bit for sellers to hold on a little bit. Now we're going to get another step down on the wholesale level. It's going to be a while before you start seeing it on the retail side, because sellers at the auction have to cut loose, and that takes time. And then you have to have these retail dealers that buy these cars at auction. Well, they're still going to think they can get the same kind of money they got for them 3 to 6 months ago. They're going to realize that they're not going to be able to. So it's going to have to take another 2 months or so before their floor plans start catching up with them, and they've got this aged inventory before they actually start cutting. So wholesale, especially in the cars that I buy, I can see almost immediately when the market tanks or gets really weak. And the upper tiers of the cars, they lag behind my cars. But then when they flush down, then retail does the same thing. upper end of the market, it's going to lag what my side of the market does. So you as a retail customer, especially if you're looking for stuff that's $15,000, $20,000 and up, you're going to lag behind me like probably 3 to 4 months before you actually see big change. And here's the problem for you if you're looking for that. Well, 2 months from now, we got spring selling season that's coming up, tax time season. So that lag that you're going to experience, crazy drops in prices that I'm seeing right now and have seen over the last month or so, well, that might not ever get to you, because as the lag comes back to this way, we're going to hit spring selling season and the prices go to the moon on the used car market again. So unfortunately, if you're looking for a more expensive used car, you might not see it. Maybe tax time's not going to be great, but from what I'm hearing, it's going to be very, very, very strong this year because of new tax codes, new tax laws that are being in place. We're not going to get into all of that, but it seems like tax time is going to be way better this year for car dealers than what it has been in the last few years.
Do your cars with manual transmissions sell well?
No, we don't buy cars with manual transmissions. So
Usually
I did buy one last week, but I bought that just because it was stupid cheap. But I try not to buy cars with manual transmissions because nobody knows how to drive them anymore. And the last time we actually had one on our lot, I remember what it was. It was a Chevy Cobalt, and the guy got in it and drove it for a test drive, came back, and the clutch was out of it. So I don't buy manual transmissions because, one, people don't know how to drive them. Two, they're very hard to sell because no one knows how to drive them anymore. And really, they don't go all that much cheaper than your standard, your automatic transmission, which doesn't make sense to me because I don't know how these other car dealers can sell them when nobody knows how to drive. It's always taken me so long to sell a manual. And then I also have to go out there and make sure that the customer actually knows how to drive a manual transmission. There's so many times there'll be young kids that come and say, "Oh yeah, I can drive a straight drive, or I can drive a stick," and they get out there, they don't even know how to crank the car. So they just think they can get in there and they can wing it and figure it out, and that's not the case. You have to know how to drive the thing before you can actually take off in it. It's just it's more aggravation. Even if we could get more money out of them, I still wouldn't buy them because there's just more aggravation to deal with the customers that would come in there to make sure they even know how to drive it and not just rip the clutch out of the whole freaking car.
So what kind of straight drive did you buy recently?
I bought a Mini Cooper.
Yeah.
That's coming out in a video pretty soon. So this one might actually surprise you. I'm not buying this for my car lot. If I actually do buy it, might be a cool thing to throw in the garage, right? All right, keys in it. Let's see what happens. This one's a 6-speed. I used to have a little turbo Mini that was very fun to drive. This one was only $800 and it's got like 90,000 miles. But the motor's blown in it.
Have you ever bought a car and then had to use it for scrap?
Yeah, I currently have 2 cars in my studio right now that are just decorations because they're absolute junk. One is a Subaru, and it was titled as junk, and for whatever reason, we didn't know that. We just thought it was salvage at first, and we sell salvage cars every once in a while. But if it's actually titled as junk, then now we can't. Even if the car has been repaired perfectly, then we can't resell it. So that car is paperweight and it's sitting in my studio, becoming a decoration. And I've recently bought one that also was titled as junk, but I don't think that they announced it at auction. They have to announce it. So we're in a discussion with Manheim at the moment.
We're no longer in discussion.
We're no longer in discussion. Did we find out something?
Paperweight.
The Jeep is?
They said they announced it.
They said they announced it. Dang it. Did you just find out about that?
It's been while we were in the live.
So I just bought a $3,000 paperweight. Yep. So yeah, that's 2. So that's going to be another decoration in our studio. Yay. It's a Jeep Compass. It's 2016. It's got like 100,000 miles. I paid $3,000 for it. Yay.
High five.
All right. I want to get off the chat. Let's go.
Yeah. That's the one I was doing.
Oh, that's so frustrating. They didn't announce that. I would have seen it, and it wouldn't have gone for that much if they would have announced it.
It's you and somebody else that didn't see it, or they did not announce it.
It's probably just me and one other dude that didn't see it, and then we just ran it up on each other.
Yeah.
That's so frustrating.
Yeah, we've had, I think, 3 pretty big hits recently. Definitely 2.
Yeah, we had an employee run into a parked car. That cost me $5,600.
I think we did find out that it wasn't parked, but it was moving slowly through a parking lot.
It doesn't matter. He ran
It does
into
not matter. It does not matter.
So let's see here. Last month I lost $5,600 because of that. This month I lost $3,000 because of my mess up. They didn't announce it. It's their mess up, but they're not letting me return it. So that's $8,600 just in the last 2 months I have lost.
This is just part of it. So you never know what's going to come up, and sometimes it can be worse than this.
All right.
Okay.
I'm aggravated.